Okay, thank you so much. Just give me a minute. I'll be sharing my slides with you all. I hope my slides are visible and my voice is audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Once again, good evening, everyone. In this particular step-by-step guide to write a good research paper, FDP come training program, I welcome you all and would like to start with the session of today, that is questionnaire designing and development. So, as you have already, excuse me, as you already have talked about in the first lecture, we have studied problem identification and art of writing review literature. In the second session, you have studied or learned about hypothesis development and testing. Now, this session is on questionnaire designing and development. So, as I was discussing that day, there are steps in writing research papers. So, first step was introduction. Second was review of literature, on which we have discussed a lot. There is another chapter that is research methodology. So, in that lecture, basically, we have various segments or sections, I must say. We talk about research design, we talk about sample size, we talk about population, we talk about universe, we talk about sample size, we talk about data analysis and data analysis tools. For the analysis, we need to go through the data collection. So, data can be of two types. You must be knowing that there are two types of data. One is primary data, another one is secondary data. But here in this particular lecture, we are going to talk about questionnaire designing. That helps us to collect data through the primary sources, or we can say the primary data can be collected through questionnaire. Okay. So here today we are going to discuss about data collection tool, that is questionnaire. That is, I would like to focus on little on the second part, that is secondary data or primary data and secondary. So secondary data is basically which we collect, especially while we are doing literature review or we are collecting any reports or any kind of facts and figures to do analysis. Already existing data which is available on the websites, on the records, in the records or anywhere else, and we are using that data and doing analysis as per our objectives. But in this, basically, we are framing the new questionnaire, new set of questions, survey we are doing, and collecting the data first hand. So the first hand data which we are collecting, that is primary data, and the data collection mode can be different, like interview and various, but here we are going to talk about the questionnaire. So let's start with it. A brief guide to questionnaire development. A critical component of survey research, it involves constructing a questionnaire. So whenever we are going to talk about any survey, any identifying or getting new data, so first what we have to do, that is questionnaire. We have to construct, we have to prepare the questionnaire. So as I have already discussed, there are two types of data. One is primary, another one is secondary data. So if we talk about this, primary data is data observed or collected directly from the first hand experience. And secondary data is what is already available, which is already been collected and analyzed by someone else or published somewhere, like government publications. It can be any earlier researches, census, personal records, client histories, mass media, any service records, anything which is already available. So, a questionnaire is a pre formulated written set of questions to which respondents record their answers, usually within rather closely defined alternatives. First of all, I am assuming the audience who are listening to me, they are aware of the word questionnaire. Questionnaire means the set of questions for the purpose of solving any of the objective we are collecting data. The set of questions is a questionnaire. So basically, it has a set of questions, and you somehow you must have filled it at any point of time in your career, in your lifetime, at least once. You must have done it, maybe for the research purpose or maybe for any general purpose. Okay, and it generally the questionnaire are having closely defined alternatives, means the options are given to you, any alternatives are provided to you, so that you can answer it easily, because whenever we have to think before writing, so we generally skip to that pattern. So if the questionnaire is having options, we always try to fill it in an easy way. Then a questionnaire is probably the most used and most abused of the data gathering devices, as much as it is convenient for getting the answers easily. It is used easily, but also it is abused, because the people are every now and then they are doing research, sending it to you, and you are not thinking of filling it, still you have to fill. So sometimes you don't like it and you don't want to fill it. So it is abused also, but you widely it, basically this is the very best way, or I must say the best way to collect the data, where we are getting the questions filled by the respondents. The question is a form of prepared and distributed to secure responses to certain questions. And it is also widely having getting information from various sources. Normally, it is used where one cannot see personally. Obviously, we cannot go here and there everywhere, and we cannot get it filled by each and every person. So there are different, like we can also send Google form while sending link. We can, get the responses. As such, there are so many types, but here we will talk about two types or three types, I must say: open-ended questions and close-ended questions. Open-ended means where you have to write the answer, you don't have options, right? In the close-ended, you always get the options, alternatives, and you have to fill. In the semi-structured or unstructured and structured, there are three types. So in the mixed one, that is semi-structured, in which we have some option, we have been given with some options, and then also there is one thing, there can be an open-ended option has like left, where if you don't want to choose out of those objectives, you can choose the last one, that is other, and you can write your answer if any of the answer alternative does not suit your choice. Then elements of questionnaire design, there can be various elements. First, questionnaire content. You need to understand the title, the topic, the stream, or the idea behind your study. Then you have to identify the questionnaire content, means you have to understand what type of question should be asked. Write or select questions to measure variable of interest. Then you have to choose the perfect type or right type of questions which can fulfill your variables interest which is required. Then finally you have to construct the questionnaire. Questionnaire is not only like having questions. So questionnaire is more than the questions, means this is the only thing which must be right to do your analysis right. Because if the analysis data collection gone wrong, then obviously your chapter which you are writing for a results and analysis will go wrong, and your findings will not come, the conclusion you cannot write. So the whole thing depends on the questionnaire. Before designing a questionnaire, you have to keep number of things in your mind. Number one, you have to decide the study purposes, means your objectives, then your research question, and accordingly you have to frame the hypothesis. Then you should know what is your aim to measure. What do you want to measure? What do you want to identify? Then develop a preliminary analysis plan. In general, you should know which kind of test you want to apply, because after looking at your objective, you can understand which kind of test has to be applied. Then decide the data collection mode. Then it can be done through different methods: interview, a hard copy, paper, pencil method. Computer assisted means you can send it in on email. You can send it the through the Google form. You can send the Google link, a link of the question, and data can be filled. Whenever you are writing the questions, what should be considered? Number one, type of question. Number two, response formats and questions wording. Let me tell you about this. If we talk about type of questions, it can be open-ended, close-ended, and it can be partially close-ended. As I have told you, some options you will get as like with the options, and then one open-ended answer will be open for you so that you can answer if you don't want to choose out of the options. Second one is questions format. Question format includes open-ended question, again the closed questions. Means open questions are always having, you can get more option information, but it will be very difficult to codify, enter, and analyze it. Close-ended question are having less information but easy to codify, enter, and analyze. We talk about the open-ended question. There are so many advantages, as I told you. Uh, basically both the type of questions are having its own advantages, and there are some disadvantages. In this, basically responses are not provided to the respondents, and you can the people can fill the respondents can fill whatever they want, what is more important, and they are not biased about filling through the alternatives. They whatever they want they can fill. Also they can, basically this kind of questions are helpful while we are doing any kind of exploratory work. Again, it is, when you were talking about open-ended questions, so very much efforts are required. Sometimes people do not fill. Sometimes respondents may vary in terms of willingness and they do not fill it properly. Then it is difficult in recording the data, codifying the data, and analysis. Sometimes, because obviously it is open-ended, so everybody is writing it in their own way. So it is again difficult to codify also, because there are large amount of information. So sometimes it may be vague or irrelevant. Next one is close-ended questions. A list of acceptable responses is provided to the respondent. As I have told you, in a close-ended, you are getting the options. So easy to respond. Communication communicates the same frame of reference to the respondents. What happens, because you are getting all of you are getting the same type of options, Same type of answer would come in case of any similarity or something like that. So it is always good. Standardization happens because they are selecting the same type of answer. They are not writing with their own mindset. Then obviously it takes very less time. If we talk about the disadvantages, need to know appropriate response category in advance. Basically, whenever you are filling any question, you should have information or knowledge about it. Then only you can choose any of the questions answer. Then it may be having different categories, but you are not willing to fill those. Sometimes may not feel involved because ultimately you are not filling the you are not getting the open chance of filling whatever you want to answer out of the question. So sometimes it is not good. Most of the questions in the PhD question are having the close ended, like this. Any of the question you have been asked and yes no answer is given. The second question again yes no is there. In the next one you are getting options like never, one time, 2 to 5 time, or something like this. So options are there. Okay. In the another question again there is a category you have been given the option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the last one you can see there are some question which has been given the option 1 to A B C D E F G H I, and the last one you have given the option of other. You can specify if you want to write outright out of the you don't want to choose any of these. Okay, now see there are A1 question is showing open ended, close ended, and another one is having the open ended question where you are asking for somebody's plans, dreams, and goals, and it is having giving you option of a plain option. Response categories can be of different types. You can ask such kind of questions where you are giving categories to the people. You can ask like this. See, in this you have been given like for example, you want to ask somebody's salary, you want to ask about their working hours, so how much hours they are working. So this kind of categories can be given. But in this kind of there is ordered responses where you are giving the scale. There are two extreme corners. For example, very good to very bad, to highly confident to low confident, with a low confidence. So there are can be different categories. One is excellent, another one is very poor. So there are two categories, and you have to give the rating for this. So basically, it is a numerical rating scale where you are giving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you are asking the questions. So as much as they are satisfied about something, they can move to that side and they can fill the answer. Unordered, where every option is having a different kind of category, and you have to fill, means it is unordered, it is not a sequence. Then partially close ended having such kind of options, like they are giving option of a position in the school. There are four options has been given, but apart from that if there is any other position they can specify. So this is partially close ended, means you are having options as well as open answer. Next one is visual analog scale. I hope you must have seen this kind of scale. Most of you must have experienced while you are visiting on this in the shopping malls and you are going for the payments and for the billing and all, and you are going getting this kind of response analog scale where you have to rate your experience, whether it is you know uh, I must say whether it is bad, good, and moderate. So we call it Likert scale when you have 5 categories or 7 categories of any options. They strongly agree, neutral, decided, undecided. You can go for it. This kind of question are having options in open questions. When you are getting, again, there are so many closed type of question. Again, I am putting the option. One is, see, where you are getting the list questions, where Like, for example, your religion, they are asking. So this kind of thing can be done. Then in the category questions, you are going to get the category, like any frequency, you can say. In the ranking question, you are getting number of option and you have to go for most important one, two, three importance you have to mark. In the rating, again, there are two different corners where you have to answer from one, like for a like a highly strong point to the lowest point. So it can be like agree to disagree. So strongly agree to strongly disagree, it may be. In the rating, one is poor side, one is very good side. So basically, one to five categories there. If you think it is in between, so you can play with five or six or something like this. In this kind of thing, you can go for rating. So this kind of thing can be done for any of the. If you are going to talk about something is about the fast and slow, unfriendly and friendly. So in here you have to again go for rating. So this is again the second example of rating type of questions. In the quantity, you have to ask the when we talk about the numbers. So this kind of option can be given. In the matrix, where responses or two or more questions can be recorded using the same grid. So see, the questions I'm talking about, I'll be giving you one more explanation by using the hands-on experience so that you will understand all the types, right? The questionnaire can be constructed in the two ways. One is you should know the order and flow of question. What is the right question to come before what, and which questions should come later. Then the layout of the questionnaire, that is again important. So if we talk about the layout, there is one thing. It should be designed to make reading questions and filling in the responses easily. It should be attractive. First, we should ask about the demographics like name, age, gender, their qualification. It may be their income level, anything can be there. Then they should have a main questions. Then, however, whether the choice is between an extra page or something, so it should be acceptable by the respondents where it is fixed. Okay, so layout should have all type of question in a proper way. Then characteristics of a good questionnaire. It should be concerned with specific and relevant topic. First of all, it should be short. It should be very precise. Directions and words should be simple because all type of people who are your respondents may be from different categories. Questions should be objective type, means alternatives should be given. Embarrassing questions, presuming question, hypothetical question where people have to think should be avoided. It should be presented in a good order. Okay, then it should be attractive, neatly printed, and clearly arranged. If you are taking the hard copy of it, it should be proper. If you are no, making a soft copy of it, it should be attractive in a proper format. It should be given. If we talk about main aspects of a questionnaire, so basically it has a general form, the question sequence, and the wording of the questionnaire it includes. If we talk about the formatting again, so you should put the questions which are important, or the question should be in block letters. Emotionally neutral questions should be there. You should not ask such question that people do not want to fill. If some questions are very like some you think that it is not everybody would not fill, so the optional options should be there. You can keep it optional. Okay. Then remember questions like it should not questionnaire fatigue should not be there, and don't put anything important in the end. If you're having very important question, relevant question should be written in the beginning. Also, whenever you are starting your questionnaire, it should include a form of consent, or I must say request lines, so that people can read it, that why you are studying this. So explain the reason of the study and explain how to record the responses. If any question supposed to be filled in a particular format, so it should be explained. Consider skip patterns. If the questions are not appropriate or not relevant to everyone, you can also have this. If we talk about the wording, use the language that is simple, avoid embarrassing questions. Also, use vocabulary proper, like a simple vocabulary. It should be clear and concise. So, if we talk about the questions wording, provide a helpful context, use landmarks, then provide cues, short reference period, and ask about the typical behavior. And if we talk about some more thing, that you should keep it simple, you should provide confidentiality, that you should also give this declaration that that particular information will be used for the academic purpose only and will not be used for any other purpose. Okay, and you will keep their confidentiality, so that should be declared. Whenever you complete the questionnaire, test it once by filling by yourself, then be specific while you are asking the questions. Also, if there are some question where you can give the option of do not know or don't know, are not applicable in a particular way, so that if they are, it is not relevant to them, they can fill that option. Use proper language, sentence should be proper, grammar and the word should be simple. You should not use leading question, means if the question one, then next, it should not have a series of questions. One question can be, or two question can be relevant, but if you ask number of questions in a sequence, that people may be like very much um, feel not good about it and they will not fill. Do not add responses to make unnecessary calculations, means you do not need to give them any situation where they need to think, they have to presume, they have to think about it. Do not use loaded question or loaded words. Then is one more thing, that you should not use such kind of questions where, or the words which they have to think about, they have to go in a deep thinking for the same. Question wordings again, you should not ask overlapping responses. You should not ask such question that people want, like are ready to answer for two options and you have given only option for choosing one. So this kind of question should not be asked. If you are asking, then you have to give the option of checkbox. So don't be vague, don't use many abbreviations. If you are using any abbreviation acronyms, so you should give the meaning of that. Don't ask leading questions. Don't ask open-ended question until unless it is not necessary. Try to use as many as close-ended questions you are using. Don't ask hypothetical questions. As I have told you, that where they need to think about it, they have to presume, they have to make calculations, such kind of things should be avoided. So the question asked should be relevant to the research problem. So there should be three parts. One is beginning, middle, and closing. Beginning question should be demographic information, related to information. Then middle question should be most important, where you are having more important question. And the closing should be having the easy question and general information about the respondents. It should, if we talk about the questionnaire designing, it should include instructions, proper instructions. Also, the response category should be defined. It should be consistent, and it should ask one question at a time. Don't stick side by side. Then number the questions consecutively and simply from the beginning to end. All should have, they like, sometimes what happens, the people start filling it and they see that how many, like if they are, it is lengthy, especially in the terms of PhD, people start looking at how many questions are there. So they start scrolling. So the number should be proper so that they can understand how many questions they have to fill. Obviously, it should have a beautification, that general instruction, title page, cover page, consent form, different identifiers should be there. If we talk about the creating the new questionnaire, so first you have to generate potential items, means questions. Then you have to test it. Then if there are some changes, do correct it, and then pilot it again. Means you have to do a pilot study, means test it again. And finally, whenever it is ready, you have to train the interviewers or the people who are going to uh, take the responses. So data coding, entry, and then analysis. And it can be sent through different modes like postal, emails, any internet way, any social media nowadays, WhatsApp and everything, like we are having messengers, telephones and all. Telephonic interview can be done, and any journal interview, one-to-one interview can be held for the purpose of filling the questionnaire. So now this is the last thing. I have already told you about number of things about the questionnaire, but because nowadays most of us, 80% of us, are using Google Forms to fill the data. So today I am going to tell about this. So here I'm ending it with it. Just a minute. And I'm sharing my I hope till here you all are clear.
Most of the time we have to use liquid scale, right?
Sorry.
We have to use liquid scale, which is the most convenient way.
Yes, yes. If we are having you know having number of questions, so we should try or we should use Likert scale. For basically it is helpful while we are doing analysis, because we want the same kind of pattern for same for the questions. So see, like who do not know, I'm telling you from the very beginning. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm giving you
Yes,
one
ma'am.
example of Google Forms in which I'm just telling you from where to start, right? So first of all, see, if we talk about this, if I'll go to the Google and I'll write Google form, so it will give me the option of create the form. I think you can see. Then here you can see I'm having tab in the Google form. You can do that. Even in your mail ID, just a minute. When if you're having open, you have opened your mail ID, let me show it to you. You can directly go to your mail ID, any of you, and see here. If you'll go and you will see the options given here, you can see one option of creating the Google Forms. This forms are written. So you can click on this and you can, from all the ways, you are going to come on the same page. Okay. So here I'm clicking on this. That is blank form. Okay. So for, I'm just giving you one example of any of the questionnaire by creating it here in front of you, and also giving you options, telling you how to create the Google form, various type of questions and everything else. So this, if you have never prepared it, or anybody who doesn't know about it, it will be very helpful for you. So please do look at it very properly. Okay. So for example, I have given a name, health information. I'm giving just a general thing. So see, here I have given the title, but here I have not renamed it. But if you have written it here, once you click on it, automatically it will take the same name. But maybe I don't want to give this the same name, so I can write it here, questionnaire on health routine. Anything. I'm just giving you example. Here you can write, dear respondents, something like this questionnaire I am filling it for the purpose of this, and then you can write that this information will be used for the purpose of academic, for the academic purpose only. Okay. And will not be used for the any other way. Okay. And then here you can say thanks, and you can request them, or also you can mention that you are from so and so university, you are the scholar, you are pursuing PhD, or if you are not a PhD scholar, then you can say I am the faculty of this college pursuing my research work in this area, and this is my title. Whatever you want, you can give the description here. Okay. Now I'm starting from here. See, first of all, you can see like I am writing here the name. Sometimes name is not compulsory every time, so I'm giving you option here is optional. Means if you want to write, okay. If you don't want to write, that is again okay. See, now what I am gonna tell you, which I was just telling you in the theory, I'm just telling you practically. There are so many options. Okay. So first one is short answer. So here you can write. See, I am also giving you preview. Preview can be this I kind of sign is here, through which I'll show you the preview parallel. See, till now what I have done, health information means if anybody else will see to this, how it will look like. This is like this. So this is I have written. I can see the information. The name is optional. See, but there is mark coming in. Means here the option is required is compulsory. Means I usually make so many questions, so I always keep it required through these settings. Otherwise, you can select it by manually, like one by one. So now I have removed it because the required option I have removed it. So see in the preview, what I can see is, see, there is no asterisk mark. Means if people again, because see, I kept it optional, no, so people can write it, or if they don't want, they will not write. The second question is about gender. So I'm giving options male or female. Sorry, male, female. Okay. Now see, if you want, you can write prefer not to say, your choice. So see how it will look like. Name was optional but not compulsory, but gender was again having the options. Alternatives are given, but it is compulsory. I would request that you should all have all the questions compulsory, so that people will not skip to the answers until unless you don't need any. If you think that it is not compulsory, everybody will not fill it, it is okay with you, then okay. Otherwise, keep all the questions required. So my Google Form setting is itself, I'll tell you from where you can do it, but it is having this kind of thing. Okay. Now see, in this question I have used the first one, that is short answer. In the second one, where I am having, the second one is paragraph, so I'll be giving the example for that. In this gender one, I have having the option of multiple choice. I'll giving you one more example of multiple choice, that is age. It can be, it can be a short answer question, but for the category basis, so that we can keep it simple, we can easy to it can be easily codify. I am just giving options up to 25 years, or 25 to 30, 30 to 40, and above 40. Okay. Because it is in years, I can mention it here also, or there also I can write after each and every option in years. Okay. Now, how it will look like, let me show you. You can fill it like this. I'm a female. My name is Ankita. I'm age is this. So I can write it like this. Okay. Now, next one. Tell me history of your health checkup. For example, I have given this kind of option. Okay. See, now this kind of question should not have a short answer or multiple choice. It should have a paragraph where people can write whatever they want to write. So see how it will look like this. Means I can write whatever I want to write. Anything is that can be there. Okay, as much as I want, I can write. So now next. Till now, I have told you about short answer, paragraph, and multiple choice. Next one is check boxes. Okay, you your regular or your routine related to your health includes number one, jogging. I'm just giving you random options: walking, swimming, running, gymming, anything. Okay. I'm giving 5 options. I did not kept it as like this. The radio buttons are not there. Here I have kept check boxes. Reason behind, see, again, let me refresh it. You will see the option. If I am the person who is doing jogging every day and also giving for gymming or swimming, so as many options I want, I can select. If I'm doing all the thing, I can select the all the options. So as many as I want. So this kind of questions should have multiple choice check boxes. Okay. So here I have given you the option of check boxes. So short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, and check boxes I have told you. Next option is drop down. Maybe you may be getting the information about the someone's city or the state they belong from. So you may ask them city of their residency or matlab whatever, like where they do live. Okay, so it may be any of the state, you may say city or state, whatever you want. So there are so many, so we cannot ask one by one, because if we see, if the 5 question we are giving, it is taking half of the page. So if we are talking about the state or cities, so it may, there may be so many. So for example, MP, UP, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Andhra, anything can be there. Okay, Uttarakhand, there can be so many. So as many as you will write, see what will happen. You will see the answers like this. Now, because I am using what? Drop down box. Okay. So it will be shown like this. I can select any of these out of 29, 30 options. I can be choosing like this. If I must have written it like this, so what will happen? It will look like so long and people have to see. Here you can see it is like, it will be like this. So you can make it alphabetically or as per your convenience. So drop down box is always good. Well, we are using such kind of questions. Okay, next option is about, see, short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, checkbox, drop down is done. Now the file upload. If you want them to fill any kind of prescription, uh, any kind of file you want, so you can say that prescription, the last prescription you are asking from them, so that can be uploaded by them. So the option has to be chosen is file upload. Then in this there is option of one thing, you can allow a specific type of file. Means people may be uploading spreadsheet, pdf, video, audio, anything, but you want the document should be there. It can be a pdf, or it can be a word document, or it can be an image. So these option I'm giving. The file size should be, file should be 1 or 2. So that also you need to decide upon 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, whatever you want. File size you can also mention it, like people if they are uploading their videos, so that should have, any kind of uh, limit of size. Okay, so this kind of option can be given. So whenever somebody is looking at it, so which kind of option they will get, like this. So you can go and select any of the file from your laptop or computer, and you can select any of the document. For example, this I have selected and I have done the insert. So this is kind of thing can be done and submit the, okay, questionnaire. Next one. Now this is the thing which is very important, where you are talking about, types of options. So linear scale can be here, right? For an example, see, it is showing like this 1, 2, 3. I was also giving you option. For example, do you l- yeah, or you can say how much, how likely you like the hygiene of the clinic. If you are taking any, for example, like clinic person is taking any review on that, so you can say very good, or it can be very bad, or very poor, you can say. Okay, so see, it can be scale from 1 to 5, it can be from 1 to 10. So I think that, see, you can see this kind of option, that person. So I want to say that it is not very poor, it is not very good, I can be, it's okay. So like I can say on 4 and 5, or if I think it is very bad, you can go for this. So it is like any person can choose. So this kind of thing happens when we are choosing any linear scale. Now next one is, there are three more options. Actually, there is one more which is new, has been added. If you want to rate someone, for example, rate us for our, I hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
See, if I'm giving this kind of option in rating her, so I can say 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, as many as I want, I can do. Now next one is multiple choice grid. See, there is a difference. You can see here we can see round circles, here we can see square. So previously when I used this multiple choices were having round, means you can choose only one option, and when it was having square, we call it check boxes. So you can have you can choose multiple. So I'm using one by one. One is check box, I have said. For example, I am talking about their routine. Same options I am using: jogging. You want to know how, what they are doing every day's life. Okay, gymming, exercising, anything, swimming, any sports they are involved in, or anything like this. Okay, now what is my choice? I want to know, like, are they doing it regularly, on regular basis? So every day. Okay, now once in a week, or twice in a week, rarely, whatever I want to ask. Sometimes, for example, this. Okay, now I want to know their routine, that are they doing it on the regular basis or not. So see how it will look like. It will look like this, that options which you want to ask for, and these are the options which you have given. For example, I'm doing jogging every day, running every day, but gymming once in a week, exercising twice in a week, swimming, sorry, sweating ho gaya. It is like rarely, and sports every day. Okay, but if I like to choose two options, I cannot. Okay, so here there is, this is multiple choice grid. There is another one. See, one more thing I would like to say: if somebody is not answering any of these, so you will not be able to submit, because I have filled all the questions. So it will be able to go ahead. Now if I want to ask them some questions which are having like multiple options can be given. So eating habits, you can also give same type of option, once in a week, twice in a week also. You can say I'm at, sorry, let me choose the option checkbox grid. Okay, so just a minute. For the purpose of when you are having mild fever, you take medicines, or you visit the clinic, or you go to medical store, or you go to a doctor, or you directly go to the hospital, whatever I want to ask. Okay. So for the mild fever, any cough and cold, any pain, any kind of pain, high fever. So any options if I'm giving, so see what will happen. Here I was getting the radio buttons, here I'm getting the checkup. For example, I am getting mild fever. So I might take medicines as well as I can go for medical store for the like which tablet I can take. When I am having the cough cold, I may go to the clinic and I can visit the clinic so that I can get the idea why it is happening. For the pain, I am directly going to the doctor. For the high fever, in case of high fever, I'm going to visit the doctor, also going to the hospital, and maybe first I'm going to the medical store. So as many option I want for any of the option